So hello everyone, today we're gonna make one about Count Cagliostro that we can see here in this film, the Doctor Strange. This is the Book of Cagliostro. Of course here a little amulet with the eye symbol. And the Count of Cagliostro, gonna have a look at what it is. Now if we look at this Catholic encyclopedia, tells us that the Count Cagliostro, that the Masonry was basically what they're implying is that it was created by Martin Luther. Can you believe? And they associate this guy here, John Valentin Andrea, with Luther, and it says basically that they are occultists. Now that's a good one, but but they're also saying some stuff that's right. And so we have here Masonry, and there's different manifestation. And we have the Saint-Germain, the Cagliostro, the Strumfer, the Woolner, etc. So the Cagliostro is the one we're going to talk about here. So the Catholics are telling us that it's linked with the Freemasons. And the Freemasons are telling us as well that Cagliostro here in this theosophy doesn't... So sometimes they say it, sometimes what they say is right, sometimes what they say is a lie. It really depends on their agenda. If you go in the lodge, they're going to give you different books. Some version for the initiates are the real version. Some version for the adept are not the real version. They are a bunch of lies. And so you see here the links with the Jesuits, and some stuff isn't, I believe, is not right. So here in this side, Masonry Today tells us a lot more truth here, I believe. So basically say that in 1781 the Egyptian Masonry was founded, and that the Egyptian Masonry is nothing new. If you have a look in the lodge in Montreal, they have a bunch of Masonic Egyptian symbols. And basically this lodge is a French part of Masonry. It's called La Loge La Sagesse Triomphante, which means triumphant wiseness, basically in English. And so it's a French thing. So there's lots of things in Masonry that's come from France, because you see the Jesuits were created in France in 1540, and in 1717 at Clermont, and they're talking about Clermont, I think, here, or maybe in the other one, I think, in Clermont, France. So that's the university in Paris, University of Clermont, which is a Jesuit university. And basically they're telling us that in 84, Cagliostro set up the Mother Loge La Sagesse Triomphante for his Egyptian rite in Lyon. So Lyon is another, it's a place where it was founded, and Cagliostro basically was a French, even though he seemed to have Giuseppe Basalmo, which seems to be Italian, but in French is referred to as Joseph Basalmo, which is basically the translation of Giuseppe, but Basalmo seems to be an Italian name. And so Cagliostro went to Malta to become a pharmacist. Interesting. Pharmacy, pharmacia, in Greek means occult. It means sorcery, or it's everything with occultism and the magic potions and all that. So we have, so it's all Masonic, and this is from Masonic source. And all those Masonic satanists and all that is all still in actuality today. Here, we have a website here. So this is a Catholic Canadian conservative website, and so the letter in English is this one. And so I had the French version just before. So basically what he's wrote to President Trump, Jesuit Trump, right? And he's trying this Cardinal Vigano here, which seems to, he's wearing a hat of conservative, good old Catholic values of, anti-Masonic and all that. But it's just a lie, because you see, he says here that, um, okay, Mr. President, my prayer is constantly turned to the beloved American nation. Now, there's not one nation or one body of men upon the face of this planet that hated United States more than the Catholic Church. And you can see that from the writings of the popes, from the writings of the bishops, from the writings particularly of Abraham Lincoln. And he said himself, if the people of our land would know the hatred of the Catholic Church toward us, people would drove them out of the country tomorrow. And so this is a lie. They hate the U.S. because of its constitution, that is libertarian and pro-freedom, which is not the values of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is a fascist, communist, anti-liberty church organization. You can see that throughout history. And he says that he was sent by Pope Benedict XVI as apostolic nuncio. So a nuncio is a representative. So this guy was a former representative or an ambassador. You can say that this way. An ambassador of the Vatican. Vigano is the former ambassador of the Vatican in the United States. And now he's not anymore. But there's a Hegelian dialectic that he's trying to put here, where the president, Jesuit Trump, is the good guy with Benedict. And the other guys, and the Pope, the Francis, is really the bad guy. This is the Masonic source. This is everything bad. And he's using a huge, worldwide Hegelian dialectic that fits somehow the prophecies, because we know that after the destruction and the sickness and the poverty and the failing of the system that we're presently experiencing, this will eventually reach its apex, and people will call then for a Sunday law. So there's a religious movement that will be brought after that, and of course, Satan will personify Jesus and all that, and asking for Sunday law, and well, it seems that this discourse is starting right now. They're preparing that. But for my personal opinion, that it's not the Catholic Church that's most likely going to lead this. Maybe it's going to be, but to my readings of the prophecies of Ellen White, she says that the Catholic Church will not have the control that she once had, and that basically that she also says that when the Protestants will start, the persecution is going to be much worse than when the Catholics did it. And so the Catholics going to be a secondary player in there in the final days, the final Sunday law movement. I believe it's my opinion. So it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. But one thing I've learned through the readings of the prophecies is that you have to keep an open mind. Otherwise, you do like the Jews when Jesus came. You have a closed mind, and you say, the Messiah is going to come and he's going to get rid of those Romans and all that, and we miss the big picture. And but this is my opinion, that the Catholic Church will play a role, but it's going to be a minor role. And this role is going to be to give back the power to the Pope. And it's going to be done through the Protestants. And so this Masonic discourse here is nothing more than the truth. The Vigano's discourse there's a lot of truth in there. But of course, he will not say that the Freemasons were created by the Jesuits in 1717. But here it does say that Cagliostro is a real Mason who's created the Egyptian Masonry. So, those personages, and when you see a major person like that, or a book of significance, like the philosophical stone in Harry Potter's, for example, is another Jesuit Masonic occult reference there. The philosophical stone is in the doctrine of Freemasonry. So there's lots of it's all in our culture today, and the people in the past, they did so too. For example, take John not John, Tom Clancy and his story here, Red Rabbit. What did he say? He says, I'm taking notes here. Sorry, I just need to pull the mic here. Hopefully he's gonna continue working. I got a bunch of stuff on my desk here. So it says in Red Rabbit, page 184, Jack Ryan, which is one of the characters, the popular characters of Tom Clancy. Jack Ryan says, Jesuit products rule the world. And so Tom Clancy was a Jesuit. He was trained with another coadjutor. And you have also William Shakespeare's in his second editions. First and second editions there in page 64, 65, where Shakespeare referenced the Jesuit general and the Jesuits in general. And we have here Doctor Strange. We have, is there another, not sure if I've taken any other popular, I think there was another big one that I forget. Of course, there's a Harry Potter there where they're talking about the philosophical stone and all the story between the good and Harry, the good and the bad. There is an amazing parallel with Jesus and Lucifer, and so I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that there's any other popular thing that I've noted here in my book. But so there's when you see occult symbolism like that, you just dig in Masonry and Catholicism to see if there's a link, and you're gonna find a link. There's nearly in occult symbolism in nearly every big movie that there is out there. So, with that, God bless you. See you next time.